All right, folks, this is Sherman Ray. This is the Livin in Vegas podcast. Time to get this show on the road. All right, hey, good morning, everybody. This is Sherman Ray, and this is the Livin in Vegas podcast. We come to you Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, talk to you about the people, the places, the trends, the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. When you think of living in Vegas, always think living local and the return of cool. And for those of you, this might be your first time checking us out. I am Sherman Ray. I'm the publisher of Livin in Vegas magazine, Livin in Vegas, Livin Weekly, and the pretty much anything else we can do. Yeah, we do a lot of stuff here. We really do, and I hope you had a great weekend. It is Monday. It's the very last. I don't know. It's the last part of August right now, and hopefully you're indoors. You are cool because it is really going to be hot today. So, some of you might be thinking to yourself, "Man, what did I get into?" You moved to Las Vegas, and this might be. I'm going to adjust this camera just a little bit here because it's a little too much headroom there. And you're going to feel it today. In the next couple of days, as the last throes of summer are upon us, you're going to feel it. The days are actually getting shorter right now, and I know because when I go out riding in the morning, the sun is not quite up yet. When it was for a little bit, so you're gonna find it's going to be pretty hot. So the predictions are going to be really hot. We mentioned this before, and that I'm the publisher of Livin in Vegas magazine. It is up on our shelves, and you can go over to livinvegas.com and you can actually check that out. We really encourage you to do that. I want to apologize, everybody, that I was super busy at the end of the week and we were not able to get out Livin Weekly magazine. It will be out today. It's not that it's not complete. It actually is. I just did not have time to upload it. Just got really wrapped up with a lot of stuff this weekend. We'll talk a little bit more about that as the show progresses. But Livin Weekly magazine is the weekly version of Livin in Vegas magazine, which comes out. Livin in Vegas magazine comes out every 3 months or so, and it's just a bigger, beefier magazine. Livin Weekly, a little thinner, but some great things that are in it. So you can actually get both of those at livinvegas.com. Okay, that's all you really need to understand. Livinvegas.com, you can get both of them. So I really encourage you to go there. So let's welcome some of our friends from Facebook. I want to welcome you all to the show. I know that there are people who are joining us from Black Success Magazine, from our Livin in Vegas, Livin in Weekly, and so I want to welcome you all to the show today. And be sure, folks, if you are on that page or any one of these pages that you see in the morning for Livin in Vegas, that you actually say hi, say hello. We also just welcomed another page, and I don't want to not say anything about it. Livin Expos, or Vegas Livin Expos. So Vegas Livin Expos is actually a part of what we do also, and so we're all over the place. We really are. And share this. I really encourage you, just share this with all of your friends. We want to get our subscriber base over on our YouTube channel up to 1,000 people. It'd be great if we could do that. So definitely do that. If you're not watching us on Facebook, you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Okay, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be doing a lot of cool things coming up, and you're going to want to watch it. You're going to really want to be a part of it. Okay. Anyways, let's pay a bill or two, and then we'll be back with more of the show for Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray. Back in just a minute. Hi, everybody. It's Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. Are you a business owner that's looking to get the word out about his product, service, or even just a great message out there? Well, we'd like to give you that opportunity by being a guest on Livin in Vegas podcast. It's super simple. All you've got to do is contact us at advertising@livinvegas.com. That's advertising@livinvegas.com, and we'll schedule you for an interview on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. That's funny. Well, thank you, folks. I was just looking over on Facebook to Facebook every once in a while will show you a memory, that kind of thing. And what it showed on mine 11 years ago, it showed a picture of my family, and it showed all of the members of. It showed my mom, my dad, my older brother Leo, and I believe the baby that's in her arms is probably my brother Robert. Well, they're all passed away now, and that was 11 years ago. My brother Robert passed away many years ago, but my mom and dad and my brother all within the last 11 years or so. Anyways, I got to tell you some story. Can I tell you a real quick story? Well, I'll tell you later, okay? Because we got to get on this show. Let's get on with some of the interesting things that are going on. Did I miss anything? I did not miss anything. Let's start off with the story of our weekend, because the weekend, things that happened during the weekend. So the Las Vegas Aces played this weekend. Okay, let's start with that story. So the Las Vegas Aces played this weekend. They played against the number 4 seed Seattle Storm, and I watched this game. I was so upset. I was so upset. Oh my gosh. So the Aces really never led in this game. Never. It wasn't as though they couldn't lead in the game. It's just they never did. They led for a minute here, a minute there, something like that, towards the fourth quarter. But this was the Aces lost. Okay, so the Aces lost. I think it was 73-76. Yeah, 73-76. And I spent most of my time in this game just upset. I was infuriated. The Las Vegas Aces are the number 1 seed. We're going to talk about their coach here in just a minute, but we'll talk about the game that was last night. And the Aces, the number 1 seed, playing against the number 4 seed, the lowest seed still left in the competition, the Seattle Storm. And the Aces, they were just not on their game. They just weren't. There were times when Seattle missed their opportunity to score like 8 times in a row, which means every time they went down to score a basket, they missed. 8 times. I counted it one time. 8 times they did it. If we only had scored on half of those points that the Seattle Storm missed, we would have won that game. But we missed opportunities, and so this will be the only time you hear me say anything negative about the Aces. I love Kelsey Plum, I really do. But Kelsey, you need to play like you used to play when you were vying for a position on the team. Okay? And what do I mean by that? There's a difference between the coach saying you're a starter and you just take chances, do whatever you want to do, and a player who's playing to get a spot on the team. Okay? Kelsey Plum has been told basically, you're the best, you're the greatest, you're wonderful, you're great, just take any shot you want. And so her attitude is that. It's not as though she doesn't make points. She does make points. She makes a lot of points. But she takes unnecessary risks at times. Because there's no consequences to that. The coach isn't going to go, okay, you sit down, you're not playing anymore. Okay? And it shows up in her play. There are many times that she went down that she just drove and she didn't pass, and she took shots that she shouldn't have taken because they're not high percentage shots or even good percentage shots. And as a result of that, we lost, and I'm not putting it all on Kelsey's shoulders, but I am putting a lot of it on her shoulders, because there were times that she should have never taken the shot she took. There's absolutely no reason. And at the end of the game was one of them. Okay, she took a three-pointer. That was LeBron James' three-pointer. It was Kobe Bryant's three-pointer range. She doesn't have that range. Okay, she just doesn't. And so I love my aces, but game 2, Coach Becky Hammond, who we're going to transition to right now, needs to get these girls in order and tell them, look, play your game. Get in there. Get high percentage shots. You cannot miss a shot in this game. There's absolutely no way, because Seattle should have never been in this game. There's no way. Okay? They're not the caliber of team that the Aces are. Our girls are great. Okay, so let's go on to the next story. Becky Hammond, named the 2022 WNBA Coach of the Year. Yes. And the crowd goes, okay, Becky Hammond. It's very rare that she's in rarefied air. Okay, she's the only, I think she's the first former player to earn the honor in her debut season. And the only one to win the award while coaching the franchise for which she previously played. So Becky Hammond has done some great things, and I'm so excited for her that she has taken her team in her rookie season as a coach in the WNBA to being the number 1 seed in her conference, which is fantastic. So I still have no doubt in my mind that the Aces will win the championship. Wouldn't it be just fantastic if not only the Aces won the championship, but they won it with Becky Hammond, who is the WNBA Coach of the Year also. So other accolades. This was very cool. So part of the team for the Aces, Asia Wilson, Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young, Dearica Hamby, also were named to the 2022 AT&T WNBA All-Star Game. So she's surrounded by just some fantastic players. And these are not players she traded for and got. These were players that she got when she got there. They just needed to coach. They really just needed a coach that was going to say, hey, girls, you can do this. So very excited for Becky Hammond. Also, let's finish up with talking about the in sports. Let's talk about the Raiders. Raiders did awesome. Before we do that, let's talk about UNLV. And you guys know I'm a UNLV guy. Even though this shirt should say, instead of saying Sunrun, which is a great company, it should say UNLV on it. UNLV won this weekend also, and fantastic. They clobbered. I think they played against Utah, didn't they? Let me double check here. Pretty sure they did. And they had outscored them like 35-7 in the first half of the game. They cruised. They really did cruise to I think they won like 50-something to 20-something. Yeah, 52-21. And they beat Idaho State. So sorry about that. Idaho State. And the reason why I want to make sure that I got this right is because we're actually getting people who are just, they're calling me on everything. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Idaho State, they beat them 52-21 over at Allegiant Stadium. Had about 19,500 people there. So 19,579 people over at the stadium. And they played on the grass, which is good. That's very rare because the Raiders have a couple of different platforms that they play off of, and they generally will not let people play on their grass. Okay, because these guys work on. So what they do is they wheel in the grass from out on the, there's a parking lot. They wheel out the grass, or they wheel out the grass, make it nice and soddy, and make it nice and game ready, and then they wheel it in to play the game for the Raiders. And in this instance, they let the UNLV Rebels play on that grass, which is just fantastic. So let's pay a bill real quick, and then we're going to come back with another story I think you're going to really find interesting. This is Sherman Ray, and this is the Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends and events shape the city of Las Vegas. When you think of living in Vegas, think living local. And the return of cool. We'll be back in just a second. Hi, everybody. It's Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. Are you a business owner that's looking to get the word out about his product, service, or even just a great message out there? Well, we'd like to give you that opportunity by being a guest on Livin in Vegas podcast. It's super simple. All you've got to do is contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com. That's advertising@livininvegas.com, and we'll schedule you for an interview on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. All right, and we are back, folks. It's Sherman Ray. This is Livin in Vegas podcast. Thank you all for being a part of the show. I really do. I really appreciate that. That you've taken time out of your day. If you're watching us on Facebook, and I was remiss in telling you this, that you can actually, man, all of a sudden everybody wants to get a hold of me. So all of a sudden, Facebook has just thrown up this big banner on on their page where you can't even see the pages, because they're going, "Hey, guess what? Your page got better. It got better." Yeah. So, but if you're on any one of our pages, don't hesitate on being, saying something to me, because I'll respond. I really will. Don't even worry about that. I'll get to you, and I'll say, "Hey, what's up going on?" So I'm going to get rid of the splash page that they put up on all over Facebook. It's very interesting. I don't know if you've seen this yet. It's like a big splash page that they put up there to tell you, "Hey, guess what? Things have gotten better." So there's a story that came up, and our local Supreme Court Justice Abby Silver resigned. This is big. I mean, my gosh. Abby Silver, Nevada Supreme Court submitted her resignation letter on Friday. The resignation is going to take effect September 29th, so just another month. She'll be gone. She didn't really disclose why she's stepping down, but a part of what she said is she goes, "Hey, I'm going to spend more time with my family." She was the first. She presided over the first all-female panel of Nevada Supreme Court justices. So this is pretty big. They're going to. I think the Judicial Selection Committee will submit 3 nominees for the governor to appoint somebody to take over the remainder of her time in office. But this is really big. So Nevada Supreme Court is actually the highest court in our land. Right now, it's a completely female court, and which is a first for our state. And it's the number one judicial branch of our state. So when somebody steps down, it's like the Supreme Court justice, of the United States stepping down. What would happen? And really, nobody said anything about this because the balance of power, and even though it's not a political position, it can be very political. So it really matters who they are going to replace her with. And so we'll find out. Very interesting. There was also a story, and if you miss any of this, let me make mention of this. If you miss any of the things that we're talking about today, something you want to go back to, you can go to our website at livininvegas.com. That's livininvegas.com, and you can check it out. As a matter of fact, I'm going to here. Hang on one second, here, folks. You'll still be able to see it. It's not gonna. You guys won't see this because it's not gonna make a difference to you. But I'll go to our website right now, and then I'll show you, because some of you have never seen what our website looks like. So I'm going to go to our website right now, and I'll pull you over to our website, and you can actually check it out. Okay. Maybe. Oh, yeah. I'm going to be able to do it here real quick. So I'm going to go over to our page right now, and then I'm going to let you see what our page looks like. Okay. Can you see that? I think you can all see that, right? I think you can all. Okay. So I'm going to go over to our website right now and show you what our website looks like. So that's what our website looks like. And many of you, that this might be the first time you've ever seen what our website looks like. That's really what our website looks like. And you can check that out. Don't hesitate on going over to our website. And so on our website, you can just go down the page. And the local breaking news is there on our page. And you can check that out. I'm going to make sure that, let's see. There it goes. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Let's get rid of that sound. So you can go down the page and you can actually see what it looks like. These will all change in about another hour, and you'll actually be able to get all of the latest breaking news that we talk about here on our website. And then if you go down the page, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff on this page. You can go down this page. Down at the bottom of the page is our podcast. And all of the podcasts we've ever put are there at the bottom of our page. So I want to encourage you to go down there and you can click on it, and it'll actually show the video of what you would normally see on our podcast that you see. On the right hand side is our current issues of Livin in Vegas magazine and also Livin Weekly magazine. So definitely go there to our website, check it out. All kinds of tabs on there and stuff like that where you can see the magazine, the directory, all kinds of cool stuff. So don't hesitate on going back there to our website and you can check it out. Okay. All right. So let's get back to our regularly scheduled show. All right. So wanted to make sure you saw that. In the time we have left, I just got a couple of minutes left, folks. I want to thank you guys for pausing there to check that out too, because that can be kind of confusing at times. So there was an article about the homeless situation, and we've talked about this before. Many months ago, we talked about this, about the homeless situation here in Las Vegas, and how it plays into or is a part of Las Vegas. And this is probably I'm not a homeless advocate. I have a heart for the homeless, okay, because I see them all the time. And because as a kid growing up in Las Vegas, we did not have as many homeless people as we do now. And now it has become such a oh my gosh, so many homeless people. There are about 600 miles of underground tunnels in Las Vegas, and they go all over the place. I mean, near the Strip area, they go, and they're all over the place. Well, there's a group called Shine the Light, I believe it's called. Let me double check. Shine a Light Foundation. And they have volunteers, and they've been going out in the last number of years, every Saturday for 4 years, and talking to the people who are in the tunnels. And they offer them water, a little bit of food, a little bit of comfort, talk to them, and socks. And on occasion, these people will talk to them, and on a rare occasion, some of them will actually come out from in the tunnels to say, hey, I've had enough. I've had enough of living this way. And so they come out of the tunnels. And so we'll leave a link to the story. It's just a heart-rending story. It just is. But I think a lot of people don't realize how many homeless people live in Las Vegas. Now, you see them from time to time. We all see them from time to time. But to know that there are thousands of homeless people, and there are, I think the estimate, there's about 5,000 homeless people running the streets. Also, some of them are in sex trafficking. Some of them are homeless teens. Some of them, you would not believe this, but they're actually students who are going to local schools. And at the end of the day, most of our kids go to a home, right? They go to a shower. They go to watch TV. They play video games. There are upwards of 1,000, 1,500 of these kids that are homeless. And they don't go to a home. They go wherever they go. And so we just need to keep that in mind, that there are quite a few kids like that. And it's just not a good thing. Okay, got time for one more. Okay, over at the Bellagio. At the Bellagio, they've got this exhibit. Did you hear about this? It's called Caldonia, and the Bellagio. Caldonia is an art exhibit. I didn't read this closely enough. I should have. Oh gosh, because I want to know who the owner of this is. Memorabilia collector Ralph DeLuca put together this exhibit, and Caldonia is a black pioneers, Little Richard, Jimi Hendrix, Bessie Smith, and other notables rare posters and exhibits, but that talk about these performers and influencers who came out of the black community. Some of these posters are one of a kind. And so, if you get a chance, go down to the Bellagio, check it out. It's in their Bellagio Gallery of Fine Art. They have 44 vintage posters chronicling the concerts and films of some of the greatest black talent of the 20th century. Now, the interesting thing about it is you will find out, especially if I don't know if they have the sound or, if they're doing sound for it, but some of the music that you hear today came from these black pioneers. And you would go, oh, I thought that they were just new and hip and they came out with this new hip song. No, it was a throwback to the 1920s or the 40s or something like that. Many of the Rolling Stones would be nothing without Chuck Berry, that kind of stuff. They just, that's who they idolized. Or Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix, as many of you know, was basically the father of the electric, rock and roll guitar, just crazy left-handed player. He played an upside down Fender Strat, white Fender Strat, and he's left-handed, so he played it right-handed, or left-handed, right-handed guitar. But a lot of these guys were the pioneers, the I don't know what the word would be, the guys who came before all of the popular music you hear today. And so there's a biblical verse that says there's nothing new under the sun. The people who first did all this stuff, and I hope, I'm going to go there to find out, because there's a lady, she was the first electric guitar player. She's the first, credited as being the first rock and roll guitar player. And it was a black lady. She looked like a an old church mom. She wore like a full dress and stuff like that, and collar and stuff like that. But then she had this Fender Strat around her, playing the blues. She's awesome. And so I'm going to see if they have that exhibit there, because I would love to find out that. Anyways, we're just about out of time. What time is it? Yeah, we're just about out of time. I do want to remind you folks, if you love what you see here, subscribe to our YouTube channel, especially if you're watching us on YouTube, or go to our YouTube channel if you are on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, because all the stuff we do on a weekly basis is there, and it is updated, and it goes to our website. Just Google Livin in Vegas podcast, the Livin in Vegas podcast, and you will find us on YouTube. So the Livin in Vegas podcast, and you'll see us there. Subscribe to that channel. We'd like to get up to 1,000 people, and that way you can, we'll be able to produce even more stuff, because then they'll start paying us. So anyways, also go to our website at livininvegas.com, and you can actually check out all of our articles, videos, updates from current events, and just cool stuff that you're going to see. Okay, some of the stuff you will never see on any other website, because that's all we do. We love Vegas, and we just continue to tell everybody about it. And we will also have up Livin Weekly today. Okay, so Livin Weekly magazine will be up today, and we'll actually be able to shoot that out to everybody. Anyways, this has been Sherman Ray for the Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, events that shaped the city of Las Vegas. When you think of living in Vegas, folks, think living local and the return of cool. We'll see you again Wednesday for another edition of Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.